Hello ladies and gents, welcome to my Season 1 finale review of Superman and Lois. Now I did actually watch this yesterday. Obviously I'm not stateside, so I can't watch it as it comes out live on a Tuesday. But I did watch it yesterday, but it got really late, and I do live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I watched it just before a live stream and then live streamed. So I couldn't do a review. Now I've sat on it, and I'm kind of glad I did in a way. I'm kind of glad I did sit on it, because I think if I'd just reviewed it straight away, I think I would have been much more positive than I'm going to be. Now, make no mistake, I still think it's a great series. But I do think this series is really suffering from being under CW. Now, we know that HBO, or HBO Max, whatever, has quite a large say in this show. Like, it does have quite a large say. Also, Jasper cameo, because I knew he was staring at me. But it's really suffering as a result of it being under CW. I'll move so you can just look at Jasper as well. Is it like really 15 episodes? It did not need 15 episode season. It 100% dragged itself out. This could have been 2 tight seasons with a, like a season 1 finale midway through where, well, I don't know, even just the reveal of Morgan Edge being Kal-El's brother, that could have been season 1 ending. That would have been great. This needs to be handled by HBO, otherwise it's going to go to crap. It really is. No matter how good Tyler Hoechlin is, no matter how good everyone else's performances are, it's just not going to work. It really isn't. So I needed to say that from the off, because this being the season 1 finale, you need to review it as an overall season, and was it satisfying as an end? And no, it wasn't. And the reason why it wasn't satisfying as an end was quite literally and plainly, Jasper's moved now, because it just dragged on too long. It didn't need to be this long. And because it dragged on so long, I expected a better finale. Something much more grandiose than this. Now, FYI, I still had a good time. But to be objective, you've got to say these things. So what happened? Well, Jordan got taken over. I don't even know whether I'm using the right names anymore. Jordan got taken over by Morgan Edge's Kryptonian father. And as a result of that, he sort of ran off, and people were like, right, we need to find him. Obviously, Superman ran off trying to find him. Yeah, it was Jordan. I got it right. Try to find him. And there was a weird side plot of them reviving the Kryptonian Defense Council, but that went nowhere. Like it went nowhere. It was painted as this thing which they had to do. They did it, and oh my god, now they've done it. The shit hits. The shit is going to hit the fan, and nothing happened with it. It was very strange. That was bad writing. I don't know whether the people that were involved in the tail end of this season are different writers or not. But they had problems with the writing here. But anyway, Kal-El, Superman, does finally find Jordan. And there's this big sort of overarching plan that what they're going to do, they're going to put that mind-reading device on Jordan, going to knock him out, put the mind-reading device on him, and Lois Lane is going to go in there and try and get him back, right? And you're like, okay, cool. Now they do that, but then Jordan wakes up, he takes the device off him, but Lois Lane is still in there talking to Morgan Edge's father. How? What? How? That doesn't make sense, right? I'm very confused with that. And she's even then talking to Jordan as well. The device isn't on Jordan anymore. How? That was a really glaring plot hole to me. I didn't understand what was going on. But anyway, the being spurred on with the I love yous from friends and family, and obviously his little girlfriend, snapped him back out of it, and love defeated evil Kryptonians, and that's nice. I like the symbolism there. That's fine. And then the result is what happens. The big plan is basically we've got red solar flare tech. They're going to inject it into the hammer. Steel is going to fly up to the atmosphere, and he's going to launch the hammer down. Time it perfectly, so Superman is going to grab Morgan Edge, i.e. now the Eradicator, going to hold him there when this red solar flare tech lands and smashes him into oblivion. That's going to break through the Eradicator's force field and is going to leave him destroyed, hopefully. Now that does happen, and there's this really touching scene where Steel is running out of battery of his suit, and he's obviously in the atmosphere, and if he runs out, his oxygen's going to deplete. He's going to die, basically, but he's like, no, I must do this. You know, I'm doing this. Shut up, AI. Like, I'm doing this. And it was actually really touching. Like, I really enjoyed that. And him having all the flashbacks to his daughter as he fell. And him basically just being reunited with his daughter. That was really, really nice. And then he's caught, obviously, by Superman. Morgan Edge is defeated as the Eradicator. All the X-Kryptonite is destroyed. And then when they land, Steel comes back around and he goes, just in time. And I'm like, oh, you've kind of ruined the moment now. And then they ruin it even further in a minute, which I'll tell you about. They kind of ruined that moment because I think that this could have been... Now, I don't think Steel needs to die, FYI. I think he was a good character. I think definitely keep him around. But I feel like that could have been a really good way to finish him. You know, like, or have him out of the way for a little bit. You know, have him land somewhere else and someone else grabs him and no one knows where he is for a while whilst he's recovering. That would have had a better emotional impact than him being caught by Superman and him just going, just in time. Like, no, not cool. Not cool. Now, Morgan Edge is Morgan Edge again. He's not the Eradicator. And he turns around and he goes, I only wanted a family. You know, I only ever wanted a family, Kal-El. And Superman does turn to him and go, you always had one. And I like that. I like that. Again, it's that earnest approach where, you know, Superman just would have done anything to have any family from anywhere. He's absolutely so... He's like a child in that way, and I think that's quite sweet. Now, the way they really, really ruined the emotional setup of him, of Steel falling and all of that, was they're coming to the end of the show, the end of the episode. He's about to leave, and, oh, the AI goes mental. Oh, there's a ship that's locked onto your signature, blah, blah, blah. They come out. Ship crash lands, and who is it? It's his daughter from the parallel universe. And you're like, okay, sure. Why do we have that other emotional beat earlier on then? Is this set up for this? Because if it's set up, it doesn't land that well. The problem is with emotional things, you can't constantly pull on the heartstrings. It starts to wear a little bit thin. And with such a powerful moment with him falling, I think it really came quite lacking when he was then reunited, because we're like, well, we've just seen him reminisce over it. I get what they were trying to do. I think that they were going for something, as in that's the setup. You're like, oh yeah, I want him to return to his daughter. Oh, that makes sense. You know, he's dying and fine. And then, oh wow, his daughter's there. Oh wow, it's really touching. I can see what they were going, but I just think it didn't land. And anyway, that's the end, basically. Parallel dimensions are still a thing. I reckon evil Superman's going to come through. That's basically where we stand. And obviously his daughter, Steel's daughter, looks at Lois Lane and goes, Mum! It's like, no, obviously not, love. Just chill out. And I don't want another season of all this mother nonsense. Oh, I'm from an alternate world, blah, blah, blah. It's getting a bit old now. Like, let's shuffle the story on a little bit. So I still like the show, but really underwhelming end to season 1. And get it out of get out from the CW. Give it to HBO. Get a few better writers on board. You know, pay a little bit more for some of the CGI, because some of the CGI in this episode was shite. But all in all, still enjoyed it. I still recommend it. I still think it's a good show. If you've seen episode 15, the finale, let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thanks so much for the guys. Take care.